The She, a term derived from Gaelic mythology, refers to the enigmatic and otherworldly divine beings often described as fairies, spirits, and supernatural entities. Their presence is deeply woven into the fabric of Gaelic and Celtic culture, embodying a blend of fascination, reverence, and fear. This video explores the old wives' tales concerning the She, delving into depictions of their communities and examining their existence in the spirit realm, unpacking their abilities and the cultural influence they wielded over Gaelic and Celtic societies. The old wives' tales about the She are rife with warnings, lessons, and mysteries. These beings were believed to inhabit the other world, a parallel realm intertwined with the human world, but invisible to most. The She were often described as ethereal and often strikingly beautiful, though their appearance could shift to be terrifying when angered. They were neither wholly benevolent nor malevolent, but operated according to their own codes and laws. Many tales warned against provoking the She. Leaving offerings of milk, bread, or small tokens outside one's home was considered to be a customary way to earn their favor or at least avoid their ire. Stories told of those who had neglected to honor the She or who had spoken ill of them often resulted in mysterious misfortunes, illnesses, or even disappearances. These tales were a means of instilling respect for the unseen forces believed to govern the supernatural world. The She were often associated with natural landmarks such as ancient burial mounds known as the She Mounds or the Raths, the forests and the rivers. It was believed that these places served as portals to their realm. Old wives' tales cautioned against disturbing these sites, with dire consequences awaiting those who dared. What were the villages and the communities of the She like? Well, descriptions of She communities depict them as mirror images of human settlements, but imbued with a dreamlike quality. Their villages, often hidden within the hills or beneath the earth, were said to be resplendent with glowing light, adorning with jewels, and suffused with an unearthly beauty. These places were described as perpetual paradises where time flowed differently, often standing still or moving far more slowly than in the mortal world. She communities were ruled by powerful monarchs, often referred to as the fairy king or the fairy queen. The courts of the She were places of grandeur and opulence, where music, feasting, and dancing were constant. However, these gatherings were not without danger for humans. Many tales tell of mortals who were lured into the otherworld, only to find that what seemed to be a single night of revelry had spanned into decades in the human realm. The She's villages were often depicted as hierarchical and very orderly, governed by strict codes of behavior. Violating these codes, even inadvertently, could result in severe punishment. This element reinforced the notion of the She as beings to be approached with extreme caution and respect from humans. Existence in the spirit realm itself, the She were considered inhabitants of the other world, which was a hidden spiritual realm that existed parallel to the mortal one. This spiritual plane was accessible through thin places such as ancient mounds, stone circles, and even the mist shrouded shores of lakes. The other world was described as a place of eternal twilight, where beauty and danger coexisted in equal measure with the secrets of the moon. Time and mortality operated differently in the She's domain. Mortals who ventured there often found themselves ensnared by the timelessness of the place, returning to their own world after decades or even centuries had passed and finding that most of the people that they knew were long gone. This timeless quality contributed to the mystique of the She and underscored the peril of interacting with them. The She's connection to the spirit realm also endowed them with powers that seemed otherworldly to mortals. They were said to move seamlessly between their world and ours, often appearing or disappearing without warning. This ability to traverse realms made them both fascinating but formidable, if not outright terrifying. What were the abilities of the Sidhe? Well, they were regarded as immensely powerful beings capable of bestowing blessings or curses with equal ease. Their powers were deeply tied to nature, and they were often seen as guardians of the natural world. Offending the Sidhe by harming their sacred spaces could invite their wrath, manifesting in crop failures, livestock illnesses, or even personal grave misfortune. One of the most feared, terrifying powers of the Sidhe was their ability to abduct humans, particularly children and young adults. The phenomenon of changelings, where a human child could equally be replaced with a Sidhe substitute, was a common theme in folklore. These changelings were often frail, sickly, or otherwise peculiar, and their presence was seen as a sign of the Sidhe's interference, as it were. The Sidhe were masters of illusion and enchantment. They could create mesmerizing visions to lure mortals into their grasp, making it nearly impossible to resist their call. As these immortal beings, they were known for their ability to control the weather, summon storms, or even bring unseasonal frost. Their influence extended to the human psyche, causing confusion, fear, or uncontrollable fascination in those who encountered them. Despite their terrifying aspects, the Sidhe were also seen as potential allies. They could bestow gifts of knowledge, healing, and prosperity with those who could earn their favor. These dual aspects of the Sidhe, as both protectors and avengers, made them figures of awe and reverence, and especially more so if they were regarded as allies. Influence on Gaelic and Celtic culture, the Sidhe left an indelible mark on Gaelic and Celtic culture, shaping customs, traditions, and beliefs. Reverence for the Sidhe was evident in everyday practices, particularly those related to nature and the changing seasons. In terms of customs and practices, beyond grounding, one of the most enduring customs influenced by the Sidhe is the practice of leaving offerings. Milk, butter, bread, and other small tokens were often placed outside homes, near wells, or at the base of trees to placate and appease the Sidhe. This practice reflected a broader cultural emphasis on maintaining harmony with the natural as well as supernatural worlds, and by making sure that these beings were appeased whenever the time presented itself. Festivals such as Samhain, which marked the end of the harvest season, were closely associated with the Sidhe. During Samhain, it was believed that the veil between worlds was thinnest, allowing the Sidhe to roam freely back and forth. People lit bonfires, left offerings, dressed in disguises to protect themselves from the Sidhe's influence. This tradition evolved into aspects of modern-day Halloween. The belief in the Sidhe also influenced how people treated certain landmarks. Trees, especially hawthorns, were regarded as sacred and often left undisturbed for fear of angering the Sidhe. Building or farming near Sidhe mounds were definitely avoided, and these areas were often treated as untouchable. What about the storytelling and oral tradition concerning the Sidhe? Well, the Sidhe played a central role in Gaelic and Celtic storytelling as bards and poets wove tales of their exploits, imbuing them with lessons about respect, humility, and the unpredictability of the natural world. These stories served as entertainment, but also warnings and reminders, moral instruction, preserving cultural values, as well as Irish history. Epic tales like the Tain Bo Quinninge, the cattle raid of Cooley, often featured interactions with the Sidhe, often solidifying their place in cultural lore. Characters like the Morrigan, a goddess associated with fate and warfare, were sometimes linked to the Sidhe, blurring the lines between where their divinity began and where the fairy ended. The lasting legacy of the Sidhe persists in modern Irish and Scottish culture. Folklore and traditions surrounding the Sidhe have been preserved and celebrated, ensuring that these enigmatic beings remain a vibrant part of cultural identity. Contemporary literature, art, and music often draw their inspiration from the Sidhe, showcasing their enduring appeal. The Sidhe's influence is also evident in the landscape itself. Place names such as Naka the Hill of the Fairies, as well as the Fairy Glen in Scotland, serve as reminders of the mythological significance. These locations continue to attract visitors and storytellers, perpetuating the mystique of the Sidhe as a whole. In conclusion, the Sidhe represent a rich and complex aspect of Gaelic and Celtic folklore, embodying both the beauty as well as the terror of the other world. Through old wives' tales, vivid depictions of Sidhe communities, and accounts of their supernatural powers, the Sidhe have left an enduring mark on cultural traditions and beliefs among the Scottish and the Irish. Their influence extends towards mythology, shaping customs, festivals, and storytelling traditions that continue to resonate today. As guardians of the spirit realm and symbols of the majesty of nature and their unpredictability, the Sidhe remain a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of human and supernatural worlds. Be careful. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you're new here, this is a safe space. If you're returning, I love and appreciate you so much, and I'm glad that you're back. In the name of the Most High God, I wish you health, wealth, prosperity, and abundance. Blessings and protection. Signing off. Take care. Have a great day.